It's a story of survival, divine intervention, and the power of love. A young Vanderbilt University student suffers 2 strokes, undergoes numerous surgeries, including brain surgery, contracts a rare and painful skin disease, battles through a 1.5 years of kidney dialysis, and spends months on end in hospitals in Tennessee and Maryland. Then doctors tell her she has a 1 in 8 million chance of finding the thing she needs the most to stay alive. A kidney that matches her incredibly rare blood makeup. This is the miraculous story of Vanderbilt graduate Kelly Finan.
I do feel, I was definitely saved for a reason. And I hope that this is part of that reason.
Like all students, Kelly Finan has big dreams. Dreams of becoming a teacher, a mentor, and a motivation to those around her. But it was not long ago when Kelly's main focus was not simply graduating from Vanderbilt, but living to see that day.
She was unique to start off with, but then what she went through made us all aware of her uniqueness.
And she's such a positive person that she doesn't let anything get in her way, and it's just so unbelievably inspiring.
And it would take that unique faith and powerfully positive attitude to help Kelly get through a grueling series of health problems, including 2 strokes, a rare and debilitating skin disease, and seemingly endless nights of kidney dialysis.
When she first arrived, she was fully mobile and everything was fine, and she never saw that as a problem. The first stroke, she rehabbed, didn't see it as a problem. Dialysis, it never stopped her.
But then after returning to Vanderbilt after a second stroke, brain surgery, and continuing dialysis, Kelly's health took a dramatic turn for the worse.
Some of my certainly most fearful moments in my life when I've been at her side, waiting for her parents to come, holding her hands, thinking that perhaps she wouldn't make it. So Casey, what do you think?
After a 1.5 years of kidney dialysis, along with a series of other health battles, Kelly's treatment was failing, and she desperately needed a kidney to survive. Doctors working together at Vanderbilt Medical Center and Johns Hopkins in Baltimore told the Finans because Kelly had so many blood transfusions over the years, she had a 1 in 8 million chance of finding a kidney donor match.
And when she was in ICU and on a ventilator, and they had no hope and had told us it would be 24 to 48 hours and to call family in, and there was nothing left they could do.
She kept getting sicker and sicker, and the news was not good at all. And at the worst moment, word came from Johns Hopkins that in fact there was a match.
And then all of a sudden this donor comes up.
And that's where the other half of this miraculous story comes in. 60-year-old Maryland businessman Dan Romano says he woke up one morning with an uncontrollable calling to donate his kidney.
As I tell Kelly, somebody planted the seed in my head. And I told my family what I was going to do, and they were questioning it, why. And I just couldn't get it out of there. It's like I was a pawn in this whole thing. I just had to go through this.
Romano, a compassionate husband and father of 5, lost his first daughter 20 years earlier when she was just 3 years old. Her name was also Kelly, and she died waiting for a kidney transplant.
And I'm convinced, and she's convinced now, it was my daughter Kelly who planted that seed.
Not only did Kelly share a special name with Dan's little girl, the transplant surgery just happened to take place on the 20th anniversary of her death.
And we didn't get to meet her until the day I was leaving the hospital. And I realized, first of all, her name was Kelly. And the second thing is the date I met her is the date I lost my daughter. So when you think of all that, you have to know that there's somebody planned all this.
And it definitely, it's divine intervention. It's pieces of the puzzle falling in place all at once. And it's incredible.
But on the outside, Romano did not seem like the best candidate to donate an organ.
Well, at 60, I was concerned that when I went to Johns Hopkins, if I was going to be in a position to donate to a child. And they said, we're going to put you through some extra tests, and they must have put me through 4 months of tests.
Amazingly, Romano had the kidney function of a 20 to 30-year-old. and was that perfect 1 in 8 million match.
If anyone doesn't believe in God or doesn't think about divine intervention, there is no scientific way to explain that.
Romano says donating his kidney is the best thing he's ever done, for more reasons than one.
One thing it's done for me is whenever my wife and I talk about my daughter, it always brings emotions. And for the first time, I think that I feel there's a reason for all this, and I can feel good about it now.
He's now at peace. He feels like he couldn't save his Kelly, and he saved our Kelly.
I mean, I get emotional every single time I think about it. And I'm still young, and I hope I have a long life to live. And I hope I can touch as many people as she would have touched.
People have asked me, well, does she keep a picture of you near her bed? I says, no, my daughter. She has my daughter's picture.
Since Kelly was so ill before the transplant, she had a long fight for survival even after receiving that perfect kidney match. But with the overwhelming support of family, friends, and a very close relationship with Dan Romano, Kelly not only survived, but thrived.
It's for the rest of her life. I'll be part of her, and she'll be part of me.
Brian Jacob Filer, magna cum laude. Kelly Louise Finan, magna cum laude.
With her health slowly improving, Kelly kept her dream of graduating from Vanderbilt and becoming a teacher alive.
I have never seen anybody more dedicated to that teaching opportunity. That determination will be a great motivator for children.
How many strips of leather does Brenda need? Jessica?
18 strips.
18 strips. How did you figure that out?
I mean, she wanted to come back. In her heart, she wanted to come back. She was afraid she couldn't do it. And I think something that we've always told her was that she can do anything, and she has proved that.
We wish you the best, sweetie. We love you.
Kelly,
You're here. But I think that the major credit goes to her. She's the one who had to create the incentive for herself to get up every day in the face of the problems that she had, but she's gotten so much better with it over time.
My parents give up so much for me to be down here. A feeling of being content is satisfaction.
Kelly excelled in graduate-level education classes with her passion being children's literature. She also completed rigorous student teaching to graduate magna cum laude.
I feel like being ill and pushing through and being able to accomplish this, it's really, if nothing else, sets a tone for the rest of my life. That there isn't really anything that I can't accomplish, I think. I hope.
She was meant to be here, and I said to her as she lay in the hospital the first time, I said, you know, Kelly, you did come here to be a teacher, and it's really pretty amazing that in your first year you're already teaching our world-class doctors, and how much that came to be the case. Kelly was a teacher here, teaching our best teachers almost from the get-go.
I've learned that since I've been handicapped, that there's always a ramp. There's always, you might not see it right away, but if you go on the side of the building, you'll find a ramp. And I feel like that's kind of like a metaphor for a lot of things, that if you can't achieve a goal right away, that there's always ways to achieve it.
Kelly Finan will forever be tied to the Vanderbilt community for another incredible reason. When Kelly returned to Vanderbilt after her kidney transplant, she started volunteering at the Susan Gray School on Peabody campus. The school helps children with developmental disabilities. Kelly noticed that kids in wheelchairs couldn't fully access the playground. The school had been trying to raise the $200,000 needed to rebuild the playground. Kelly vowed to raise the rest of the money before she graduated. With help from her friend, Vanderbilt basketball star Shane Foster, she quickly got strong support from men's basketball coach Kevin Stallings and Vice Chancellor of Athletics David Williams. Kelly also donated an inheritance she received when her grandmother passed away, and her family added a generous contribution.
Sure enough, last October, the playground was finished and dedicated, and there's this wonderful outdoor classroom now called the Kelly Finan Outdoor Classroom.
Go! Go, Dylan, go! Go, Dylan, go!
My handicap is not really a handicap because I was able to do something with it. I'm just so happy that that happened, that I was able to do that I was able to see the playground from different eyes.
It's not surprising one of Kelly's first stops after graduation was the Susan Gray School. She was welcomed by the kids with a banner and lots of love. For VUCast, I'm Amy Wolf.